Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that every thought in your head could be heard by everyone around you. No filter, no secrets, just pure, unedited access to your mind. At first, it sounds like a superpower, but very quickly, you'd realize it could be a nightmare. Let's explore what the world would look like if people could read minds. First, think about the very moment you realize this power exists. You step out of bed still half asleep and you think to yourself, I don't want to go to work today. Suddenly, your partner in the kitchen turns around and says, I knew it. You freeze. How could they know? But then you hear their own thoughts echoing in your head. Did I leave the stove on? I hope they don't notice I ate the last cookie. That's when it hits you. The walls between thoughts and speech are gone. Everyone is exposed. Now, let's talk about what would happen in relationships. Imagine dating in this world. You're sitting across the table at a restaurant. Instead of listening to someone tell you about their hobbies, you hear every insecurity, every judgment, every hidden desire running through their head. Maybe they're thinking, wow, this food is terrible, but I don't want to sound rude. Or worse, I'm not really into this person, but I'll finish the meal anyway. How long would relationships survive when there's no such thing as privacy? Jealousy, lies, and even small white lies meant to protect feelings would vanish overnight because they couldn't exist. The truth would be everywhere. At work, things would get even more chaotic. Imagine walking into a meeting. The boss is explaining a new project, and while they talk, you hear them thinking, this probably won't work, but I have to sound confident. Meanwhile, your coworker sitting next to you is silently screaming, I hate this job. Please fire me already. Productivity would crash because no one could fake enthusiasm, politeness, or professionalism anymore. Every complaint, every secret opinion about the boss, every hidden resentment would be out in the open. And what about politics? Imagine politicians trying to give speeches. On stage, they say, we're here to serve the people. But at the same time, their thoughts reveal, I just want to win re-election and get rich. Overnight, the entire system would collapse. People would stop voting based on what they retold and start voting based on what politicians really think. Corruption would be exposed instantly. Maybe that sounds great. Finally, total honesty. But would society even survive it? Now let's go deeper into daily life. Think about something as simple as walking down the street. Every person you pass has a mind full of thoughts, memories, and emotions, and you'd hear them all. I forgot to pay the bill. I wonder if they think I look fat in this shirt. I miss my mom. It would be like standing in the middle of 1,000 radio stations playing at once. The noise would be unbearable. People would crave silence, but silence wouldn't exist anymore. The only way to escape would be to isolate yourself. Humanity would become lonelier than ever. Friendships would also change completely. Best friends rely on trust, on sharing what they choose to share. But if you can hear their every thought, you'll know everything, like that time they secretly didn't like the gift you gave them, or the moment they thought your story was boring but smiled anyway. Would friendships grow stronger with honesty, or would they collapse under the weight of too much truth? But maybe there's another side to this. What if mind reading made us more empathetic? Imagine hearing the hidden struggles of strangers. You'd know when someone was depressed, when they were hurting, when they desperately needed kindness. Maybe people would treat each other better because there would be no way to hide pain. No more masks, no more pretending to be fine when you're not. In a strange way, mind reading could bring people closer, forcing society to become more compassionate. Let's think about crime. Detectives would no longer need evidence. They could just look at a suspect and immediately know if they're guilty. Criminals wouldn't be able to lie in court. Justice would be instant. But here's the problem. Would it still be fair? Sometimes people think about crimes they never commit. Imagine being punished for a crime you only fantasized about but never acted on. Where do we draw the line between thought and action? Education would also be unrecognizable. Students wouldn't be able to fake answers anymore. Teachers would hear who studied and who didn't. On the flip side, teachers' thoughts would also be exposed. This student is brilliant, but I don't have time to help them. Or worse, I'm not getting paid enough for this. Respect between students and teachers might disappear. Let's not forget about love and marriage. Couples would have zero secrets. That might sound good at first. No cheating, no lies, no hidden feelings. But sometimes relationships survive because people don't say everything on their mind. Imagine hearing every annoying thought your partner has about you. Why do they always chew so loud? I wish they would exercise more. Over time, small irritations might destroy even the strongest bonds. The economy itself could collapse. Advertising, sales, customer service all rely on persuasion and hidden motives. If customers can hear that the salesman is thinking, "I just need to hit my quota, I don't care about your needs," trust in business would disappear. Money flows on illusions, and illusions can't survive in a world of pure honesty. So, could humans adapt? Maybe. Maybe we'd develop new mental barriers, ways to control or shield our thoughts. Maybe technology would evolve to filter out unwanted noise, like a mute button for the mind. Entire industries could be built around protecting mental privacy. Mind shields, brain firewalls, thought silencers. Suddenly, the most valuable product in the world would be silence. But here's the darkest possibility. Society might collapse altogether. Human civilization depends on lies, secrets, and the ability to control what we share. Without that, chaos would spread. Families would fall apart. Governments would crumble. Friendships and marriages would shatter. And the constant noise of billions of voices could drive people to madness. Still, it's worth asking. Would total honesty destroy us or finally set us free? Maybe humans would evolve into a more compassionate, truthful species. Or maybe we'd realize that some secrets, some walls between us, are what keep us sane. So, what do you think? Would mind reading be a blessing or the end of humanity as we know it?